The Glenn G. Bartle Distinguished Alumnus recognizes and honors a graduate who has distinguished himself or herself since graduating from the university and serves as a memorial to Dr. Glenn G. Bartle, the first president of Harper College, which we've heard so much about this evening. This award honors alumni who have rendered outstanding voluntary service to the Binghamton University community while also serving their communities, their careers, and their country. Brian Rose, could you join me on stage to introduce this year's award recipient?
Wow. Well, so first I got to soak this in a little bit and look at this room. So a few of you know that for a long, long time ago in a different city, I was a performer of a type, and I never got to play a room with a balcony. I played rooms with sprinklers. But in my retelling of this night, Neil Berg and Rita Harvey opened for me. I was listening to Ron and speaking about the time of Glenn Bartle as a president, and Binghamton has come a long way since then, right? So there aren't 1,200 people on campus anymore. There are a few more. But the president of Swarthmore now probably hopes that Swarthmore College is the private Binghamton. So I've been privileged to serve as Binghamton's vice president for student affairs for 10 years now. And I've had the opportunity to introduce dozens of student commencement speakers, staff members, and students who have won a variety of different university recognitions. Tonight, for the first time, I have the privilege of introducing the 2018 recipient of the Glenn G. Bartle Distinguished Alumnus Award. And I'm particularly pleased to have that honor since our recipient is one of those Binghamton alumni that I've come to know personally over the last several years. Dr. Stephen Klein is a 1977 graduate with a BS in biological sciences who went on to earn his MD at the University of Rochester in 1981. He completed a residency in diagnostic radiology at Hospital of St. Raphael in New Haven, and then a fellowship in neuroradiology at Yale New Haven Hospital. He continues to maintain his practice with Hudson Valley Radiology in New City, New York. Now that's not a bad career, but allow me to share what truly makes Steve deserving of his honor this evening. Dr. Stephen Klein has been and continues to be one of the most remarkably dedicated alumni mentors that you will find on any campus. As just a few examples, for several summers, Steve has volunteered through the Harper College Physicians Mentor Program, where students interested in careers in medicine spend up to 8 weeks with Steve in his practice and meet with him weekly. When the then dean of Harper College, Don Neiman, and I dreamed up a program that we now call LACE, the Liberal Arts to Career Externship, where Harper College students shadow professionals to get a sense of the career path they might wish to follow, Dr. Klein was one of our very first volunteers, and he's now had several students shadow him through the LACE program. Some of you may know every year in January we host an event known as Metro Connections Night. It's an evening where dozens of alumni mingle with hundreds of our students. And Steve and his wife, Joanne, Harper 1979, have consistently volunteered for years. I personally met Steve and Joanne Klein as their son, Dan, who earned 2 degrees from the School of Management in 2015 and 2016, prepared to enroll as a student. At the time, I had an idea to start a parents' council at Binghamton. Who do you think our very first member and volunteer was? So, as you can see, over and over again, when we begin a program, it's an idea, we haven't even started it yet. We can always count on Dr. Stephen Klein to help us out and serve as a mentor to to our students in so many different ways. And in closing, I want to give you a slightly more personal sense of Steve and Joanne and their dedication to mentorship. When I first met them, it was in the context of parenting, the parent council idea that I just mentioned. And their youngest son was about to start college, but my two children were still in grade school, and so we talked about family quite a bit. I really marveled at the close relationships Steve and Joanne had with their children, despite his demanding career. They spent time together and they had fun with one another, and it became my goal to have the same kind of relationship with my children when they would one day go off to college. Steve, you have been an inspiration and a mentor to me. Well, my son is a college freshman now in Ohio this year, and I'm very grateful that the two of us are close. So Steve, for me, it is a special and very personal honor to recognize you with the Glenn G. Bartle Distinguished Alumnus Award.
I promise I will stick to my 3-minute restriction. Thank you, Brian. When I was asked by the Alumni Association to receive the Glenn G. Bartle Alumnus Award, I was truly baffled. Were they offering an award to the nerd who spent the most number of hours studying in the Bartle Library? Later in the conversation, it was revealed that Brian, the Dean of Student Affairs, nominated me, and I said I was humbled and honored to celebrate our university tonight. My wife, Joanne, and I both went to Harper and actually overlapped one year, but we met at a wedding of Binghamton grads after our respective graduations. We got married within a year, and we spent the following 30 years giving a small gift to the Binghamton Fund, but sadly, that was the extent of our engagement with the school. Fast forward to 2011, and our youngest son happily surprised us by saying that his first choice was attending the School of Management. As soon as he stepped foot on campus, Dean Dillon and Lori Norell took Daniel under their wing. It was at that moment that Joanne and I realized that we wanted to offer our support. We worked with Brian to start a parent leadership council which would create a bridge for BU parents and administration. Then one thing led to another, and we both took on additional responsibilities to promote BU's reputation. I learned after a quick Google search that Glenn G. Bartle, first president of Binghamton University, came to the region in 1945 to serve as dean of the newly established Triple Cities College in Endicott. Triple Cities College was meant to meet the educational needs of GIs returning to the area following their service in World War II. I chose a career in healthcare because like Glenn Bartle, it is part of my DNA to lend support to others. One of my most gratifying activities as an alumnus has been the opportunity to mentor undergraduate students who are considering a career in medicine and healthcare. Students come to me thinking that they will be exposed to amazing advancements in behavioral neuroscience research that will change scientists' understanding of the brain. They leave realizing that medicine can be very mundane, not all that glamorous, but a physician can impact lives, often one life at a time. And that is what our university does, and that is what our Alumni Association does. We change student lives one life at a time. I came to BU aspiring to be an orthodontist. Actually, I wanted to be a theater major, but I could not compete with the folks like today. But I did want to be an orthodontist. But I was disillusioned with the competitive nature of the pre-med and pre-dental program. And when I was considering a switch to business, it was a Newing College residential advisor who encouraged me to stay the course and pursue a medical career. It was that simple 30-minute conversation that changed my career path. So if there is one message I would like to leave you with tonight, it's that all alumni can reap the rewards of impacting a Binghamton student. Please consider responding to the university's recruitment effort to mentor our young adults, including our LACE program and the newly formed Harper Edge mentoring program. And to all our performers tonight, if you're here, I'm sure there are enough people in the arts at Binghamton who would love to speak with you. Thank you to Harvey, Brian, Upinder, Lori, Jim, Melinda, Morgan, Wendy, Ashley, and all our wonderful administrators who make us proud to be alumni of such an outstanding, enviable university. Thank you tonight to Patrick, to Neil and Rita from my own hometown in Rockland County, and thank you to all our Bearcat volunteers who made tonight so successful and so memorable. And thank you to my lovely wife, Joanne, my children, my family. 9 of us here tonight are also Binghamton graduates. Thank you to my family for supporting me, for supporting each other, and supporting our wonderful alma mater. Thank you.